team played. So what does that tell you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we have made it to college. What was your thought process? Were you thinking, I'm so good, I think I'm going to go pro? Or were you thinking, you know what, let's just see how this goes and let me take it as it comes?
I never thought about pros. I thought about just actually fitting in, because first year I had to just, learn this game, learn college. Because remember, high school and college is totally different. And I know one pack that I told Rory Sparrow, his freshman, when he was leaving, I said, Rory, I'm going to break your assist record. And then I was like, that I'm going to do before I leave Villanova. And come to find out, I did break his record. And after that, when I was a sophomore, then I became a leader. So, and also with me and John Pannone being there. But just remember, John Pannone already been starting, and I was the newcomer. But I was able to adjust well, really well because of my training process and, me actually listening and understanding what Coach Massimino needed me to do.
It's interesting you would mention that. When you say your training process, what would that consist of?
Basically, eating right, one, and two, taking practices serious. If I have to stay a little bit longer, which I really could because you have to run back to eat afterwards. But I make sure that, I do my stretchings and doing all that stuff. And also I have to hit the books too. So I made sure that I did a little something before I went to bed or, just to keep up.
Oh, okay. Now, you've made it through college, and now it's that time, and the NBA is looking at you. What was your mind? Where was your head at? What were you thinking? What was your mindset like? What was your family saying and thinking?
Well, everybody's saying that I was going to get drafted, but I actually went to I did a visit with Milwaukee, right? And that's the one place I really wanted to actually have them draft me. So they said that they was going to draft a big guy or myself. So during the draft time, when it came to the 17th pick, I was like, "It's got to be me," because I felt more comfortable being with the Milwaukee Bucks at the time because they were already established and they was doing something, and plus, I could actually learn more about the game, being around Quinn Buckner because he was the point guard at the time, and we kind of built the same. So I really wanted to be drafted by Milwaukee Bucks.
Okay, but that didn't happen. So, what was on your mind? What was on your mind when you saw that kind of slip away?
Well, basically, we were all in Madison Square Garden, and everybody around me is gone. I was the last person and the last pick. So I was very, very grateful that the Cavaliers did draft me times.
Now, what do you think? It didn't happen, so it would be very hard for you to try to make that kind of make that statement. But what do you think would have happened had you not have been drafted?
That's a good question.
I come up with good ones every now and again.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's why I always say books, basketball, and baseball, because if basketball wasn't there for me, then I would then have to go out there and work harder to go get a good job.
Mm-hmm. And what was your major in college?
It was economics and sociology.
Oh, okay. Okay. And what other? I'm asking this to see what were your other options. What would you have considered if basketball wasn't an option?
Wow, that's a good question too. Maybe working with family, or possibly even being a lawyer.
Oh, okay. Interesting. That's very interesting. Now, here you are. Now you're with the NBA, the National Basketball Association, known worldwide, has some of the most amazing talent um, ever seen. Everything's televised, everything's there. How was that for you, making that transition from playing college ball to playing professional ball? And how did you prepare yourself, and how did you maintain yourself while you were there?
Well, during time playing was great, and meeting other people, whatever. But the one part that I think me and you spoke about it, I hope this is not a negative thing, jealousy and envy, and you really didn't know who your friends were. That's the tough part. That's the tough part where I had to sit with my mother, and I'd be like, Mom, I'm no better than them just because I'm playing NBA. I'm just Stu. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted people to look at me in that manner. You know, and I didn't want nobody, because you have a lot of friends that say, "Oh, you played a good game," and then later on they talk bad about you. And that hurts. That really hurts.
Now,
yeah, that's the part that.
Go ahead, please. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but that's the part where, me and my mother. Me and my mother was very, very close. She's my number one woman. Ain't no other woman could take her spot. And she actually guided me, and through all this stuff. She was the only one I could actually depend on. And
okay.
She told me how to deal with that and how to handle, certain situations.
Well, it's good you had that that force, I'll say, in your life, and someone to really keep you going straight and keep your head on your shoulders.
Yeah, grounded too. Yeah, keep you grounded.
So the question is, aside from the friends outside, what about your teammates? How was your relationship with your teammates?
Teammates were great. I didn't have no issues with them.
Mm-hmm.
I remember playing, with Michael in Chicago, and other players, even Magic Johnson, and even Julius Erving.
Oh, that's cool.
He was beautiful too. Yeah, he was good too. A lot of them was great.
Okay,
and
excellent.
I had World Be Free, Jeff Houston. A lot of great players I had.
Great. Now, when you were traded from one team to the next, how do you handle that? How does that process work? Did it change your mindset in any way, shape, or form? Were you sad to leave? Were you happy? What were your emotions?
Yes, I was very sad to leave, because you know why? I wanted to make something where I was at in Cleveland, but my thing here is that you have to understand, this is a business, and you could be everybody talk about, why did LeBron, everybody hook up and do this? Well, my thing here is, why do teams trade players when they don't want to be traded? If it's an open thing, then everybody could do whatever they want to. As long as it's according to their contract. So I don't feel no way if if you want to have 4 superstars and you can afford them, then fine, because you got players out there that don't want to be traded. Just like Holiday, he didn't want to leave Milwaukee, but now he's on Boston. So that's a good example. He didn't want to leave, Milwaukee, but Milwaukee traded him, and he won a championship. So I know for sure it's just a business. It's only a business.
Okay, so having to uproot yourself and go to another city or another state, is that difficult? I mean, we all do it in some shape or form, but is that difficult? Was it difficult for you?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, it is. Because, one, you can't really say, okay, they're going to keep me here. Let me get a house here. Don't make no sense. You might as well stay in an apartment, a townhouse, so then you could travel just in case if they trade you again, because you could be traded 3-4 times in a year. You could be traded whatever. You never know. So there's no real consistency,
Mm-hmm. Now, also, you went, you went to the New York Knicks, which is interesting because that was where you sat when you got drafted. What was it like being at home?
Oh, I loved it because I was home and I wanted, to actually learn again because every system is different, and I just really wanted to be part of it. But there's a lot of pressure coming home and playing too, so a lot of pressure.
What was that like? Because I know you were playing. I think it was Patrick Ewing was on the team at the time.
Right, Patrick, Rory Sparrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dominique's brother, Kenny Walker. I liked that team. It was a good team. But we just wasn't just winning.
So, what was the pressure being at home? I mean, what was that really like for you personally?
Well, you got family and friends coming to the game. They want to watch the game, especially they want to see what's going on. Sometimes I played, sometimes I didn't, but I never let none of that frustrate me. I was always ready when they called.
Okay, and when that ended, where did you go next?
After that, I went overseas.
Okay, and what was that like? First, you're here in the United States, and then you go overseas. How was that transition? How were you able to make that adjustment? And was it an easy transition? Was it a difficult transition? Did you have to, what country were you in, and what languages did you need to understand?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. After that, something? I did play in the CBA.
Mm-hmm.
Where I played in the CBA and the USBL, so I made first team. Then I decided, okay, they called me to go overseas, and that was pretty good because I went over to Sweden, I went to Philippines, and other couple countries. Yeah, that was good. I loved it just being out there.
Okay.
It's a different experience.
And, I mean, how was it different? Did you feel freer? Do you feel more comfortable being you? Or, what was the difference?
Oh, yeah, you had to make the adjustments,
Mm-hmm.
because, they kind of cater to you. I remember having a chauffeur. I had a boy. I had a girl. I had another woman that cooked. So we really didn't have to do much.
Oh, okay. That's. Mm-hmm.
And then when I went to Sweden, I remember they gave me a Saab. They gave me, I don't even know how to drive a stick, and the wheel was on the other side. Oh boy! So they ended up giving me an automatic so I could drive around.
Oh, that was
experience.
Cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, having said all that, were you homesick while you were away in another country? Did you miss the U.S., or were you just like, this is cool, I could deal with this until?
No, I just made adjustments. It was basketball. I was having fun. We was going to different cities, and it was nice. I liked it.
Okay. And then when that stopped, when you stopped playing European ball, what did you do, and why did you make that? What decisions did you make? What factored into the decisions that you made?
Yeah, I was going to continue playing. Decided to say, something, let me start getting myself together. Let me don't keep playing so much and make a change. So I said, let me just start working with the kids, just to try to help them out. So I actually worked at Jewish childcare for like 6 years. And that was good.